What if a single encounter in the skies of South Asia signaled a new era in global military power? Not a rumor, not a simulation, but a real-world test that challenged assumptions about who leads the defense industry today. That moment came when reports emerged that Pakistan's Chinese-made J-10C fighter jets had faced off against India's French-built Rafales. What followed wasn't only a clash of two air forces. It was the collision of two military philosophies. In early 2025, rising tension between India and Pakistan escalated into limited aerial operations near the border. Pakistan launched what it called a defensive counterstrike, following India's Operation Sindhudur, which targeted sites across the line of control. According to the Pakistan Air Force's briefing, its pilots flew a mixed formation of JF-17s and newly inducted J-10C fighters. India, operating Rafale F-3R aircraft supplied by France, scrambled to intercept. While each side presented different claims, what stood out was Pakistan's statement that several Indian aircraft had been neutralized, including Rafales, MiG-29s, and Su-30s. India denied losing any jets. No independent verification confirmed either account. However, even the suggestion that a Chinese-built aircraft could match, or possibly outperform, Western designs was enough to ripple through global defense circles. The engagement, regardless of who had the advantage, drew international scrutiny. For the first time, a Chinese-designed fighter was reportedly tested in real combat against a frontline Western aircraft. That alone was unprecedented. To understand why this encounter mattered so much, it helps to see what these two aircraft represent. The Dassault Rafale, built in France, has been marketed as one of the world's most versatile multi-role fighters. It carries advanced radar, electronic warfare systems, and long-range Meteor air-to-air missiles. India purchased 36 Rafales between 2016 and 2022 for roughly $8.7 billion, one of its largest defense acquisitions ever. The aircraft was meant to provide India with a technological edge against regional adversaries. The Chengdu J-10C, by contrast, is China's modernized evolution of the J-10 family. It integrates an active electronically scanned array radar, advanced avionics, and the PL-15 long-range missile, a weapon designed to reach targets beyond visual range. Although classed as a 4.5-generation jet, its sensors and missile range place it close to 5th-generation performance levels. When Pakistan acquired the J-10C in 2022, analysts viewed it as a move to counter India's Rafales. Few, however, expected those two aircraft to ever face each other so soon. Even before the dust settled, the news had financial consequences. Chengdu Aircraft Corporation, the manufacturer of the J-10C, saw its share price surge by nearly 40% over 2 trading sessions following Pakistan's public statements. The rise reflected growing investor confidence in Chinese defense technology. For many observers, it was another signal that the country's defense sector was maturing rapidly, moving from imitation to innovation. In markets, as in warfare, perception matters. A fighter jet's success on the battlefield can translate into billions in export revenue. When a developing nation demonstrates that a lower-cost system can compete with elite Western designs, it challenges decades of defense industry dominance. Behind the J-10C's emergence lies a 20-year transformation of China's defense ecosystem. Since 2000, Beijing has multiplied its defense budget more than 6-fold, reaching roughly $224 billion by 2023, second only to the United States. A substantial portion goes into research and development, especially in aerospace, naval systems, hypersonics, and cyber capabilities. This investment supports a model that merges civilian and military innovation, what Beijing calls civil-military fusion. Technologies from commercial giants in artificial intelligence, semiconductors, and telecommunications feed directly into military projects. The result is a system capable of producing advanced prototypes and moving them into production at a speed that Western contractors rarely match. The J-10C's primary weapon, the PL-15 missile, is central to this story. It reportedly uses a dual-pulse solid-fuel motor and an active electronically scanned array seeker, giving it range and accuracy that rival the European Meteor missile. While the export version, known as the PL-15E, is limited to about 145 kilometers, the domestic variant is believed to exceed 300 kilometers. Western analysts, including those from the United States Department of Defense, view the PL-15 as one of the most capable air-to-air missiles currently fielded. The missile's design reflects a clear goal to outrange potential adversaries and deny them control of the skies. In any potential conflict around Taiwan or the South China Sea, such reach would be strategically decisive. China's rise as an arms producer has reshaped the global defense market. Between 2019 and 2023, the country accounted for roughly 5.8% of worldwide arms exports, placing it fourth behind the United States, France, and Russia. Its customers span more than 40 nations, from Pakistan and Bangladesh to Egypt, Nigeria, and Saudi Arabia. In South and Southeast Asia, Chinese equipment now dominates, representing more than 60% of Pakistan's imports and a growing share in neighboring states. China's success rests on several advantages: lower cost, reliable delivery, and fewer political restrictions. Where Western nations often attach export conditions, Beijing offers flexible financing and technology transfers. For developing nations, that combination is difficult to ignore. China's progress extends far beyond the J-10C. The country's stealth J-20 fighter has already entered service, representing a direct challenge to US and Russian fifth-generation aircraft. Meanwhile, the DF-17 hypersonic glide vehicle, capable of traveling faster than Mach 5, has been integrated into the People's Liberation Army. Its maneuverability makes interception by current missile defense systems extremely difficult. According to multiple defense assessments, including reports from the U.S. Department of Defense, China has achieved near parity with Western powers in several advanced military technologies. In hypersonics, it may even lead. One reason for China's rapid advances lies in how it develops and purchases equipment. State coordination allows projects to move from research to mass production without years of political debate. The system encourages efficiency, though it also limits transparency. By contrast, Western defense procurement is slower and often costlier. Companies such as Lockheed Martin, Boeing, and BAE Systems depend heavily on large government contracts. In the United States, congressional oversight and private sector profit expectations can extend timelines and inflate costs. Chinese firms, while state-owned or state-linked, derive much of their revenue from civilian markets. The Aviation Industry Corporation of China, for instance, earns less than a third of its income from arms sales. This diversification keeps prices lower and production more flexible. For decades, China was one of the world's largest importers of Russian military hardware. That balance has now reversed. Since 2019, China has become a net exporter of major conventional weapons. Its shift reflects self-sufficiency in engines, avionics, and precision manufacturing, areas that once required foreign assistance. The Stockholm International Peace Research Institute tracks these changes closely. Its data show that between 2019 and 2023, China's exports went primarily to Asia, the Middle East, and Africa, with Pakistan accounting for the majority share. These trends mark a structural change in the global arms economy. Combat validation plays a crucial role in arms sales. Before 2025, Chinese systems had limited exposure to real-world testing against Western equipment. The reported performance of the J-10C, regardless of competing narratives, provides that missing demonstration. Analysts expect it to boost export interest in Chinese aircraft, especially among nations seeking capable jets without the high maintenance costs of Western options. Footage from multinational exercises, such as Egypt's Eagles of Civilization 2025, already shows foreign pilots evaluating Chinese platforms firsthand. Such visibility helps normalize China's presence in markets once dominated by NATO suppliers. For India, the questions go beyond one encounter. The country's reliance on imported hardware from Russia, France, and the United States highlights its ongoing modernization challenges. Since 2006, India has sharply reduced purchases from Russia while increasing orders from France and the US. But diversification also raises costs. If Chinese aircraft demonstrate comparable performance for less, regional competitors may rethink their procurement strategies. For France and other Western exporters, the concern is economic as well as strategic. Rafale contracts with India, Indonesia, and Qatar are worth tens of billions of dollars. Any doubt about the jet's supremacy could affect future deals. China's ability to blend civilian and military industries, really stems from policies introduced under Deng Xiaoping. When the country lacked resources, the government actually encouraged defense enterprises to participate in commercial sectors just to sustain themselves. Decades later, that kind of diversification produced companies skilled in cost control, manufacturing, and global supply management. Today, those same firms are producing both passenger aircraft components and stealth fighters. They draw on, the same network of suppliers and engineers. The overlap accelerates innovation while lowering costs. The growing capability of Chinese defense manufacturers, honestly, challenges long-held assumptions about technological leadership. It shows that state coordination, when combined with market competition, can deliver rapid progress. Western governments now face pressure to streamline their own procurement systems, encourage dual-use innovation, and protect key technologies from transfer. Analysts describe the current moment as a rare reversal. For the first time in modern history, the United States and its allies are playing catch-up in certain high-technology military domains. Beijing's long-term objective, according to official planning documents, is to achieve intelligentized warfare dominance by the year 2049, the centenary of the People's Republic. Now, this concept emphasizes artificial intelligence, unmanned combat systems, and integrated digital command networks. It envisions battlefields where decisions occur at machine speed and human pilots may no longer be central. The development of the J-10C and its successors fits within that roadmap. Each new platform integrates more automation, sensor fusion, and data link connectivity. The goal is not just superior firepower, but a network that fuses surveillance, targeting, and strike capabilities across all domains. China's rise in defense technology is already altering diplomatic relationships. Nations once dependent on Western suppliers now have alternatives. This diversification could reduce Western leverage in international affairs, where arms deals often serve as tools of influence. At the same time, the competition drives innovation worldwide. The United States has renewed hypersonic weapons programs that had been dormant for decades, while European nations are accelerating next-generation aircraft projects such as the Future Combat Air System and the Global Combat Air Program. The J-10C's story, factual and verifiable in its technical and industrial context, illustrates more than a single fighter's performance. It represents a turning point in how military power is produced, marketed, and perceived. A Chinese-made jet, developed by a system once dismissed as imitative, now stands at the center of global discussion about capability and cost. Whether or not any Rafales were truly lost in combat, the episode demonstrated something undeniable. China's defense industry has reached a stage where its products influence not only warfare, but also economics and geopolitics. As of 2025, the balance of military technology no longer divides neatly between East and West. Instead, it forms a dynamic competition where innovation, speed, and affordability decide influence. China's centralized approach, with its integration of civilian technology and rapid production cycles, continues to narrow the gap with established powers. In this emerging landscape, each new test flight, export contract, or border skirmish carries implications far beyond its immediate outcome. The skies over South Asia may have offered the first glimpse of that future, a world where technological leadership is shared, contested, and constantly shifting. And that, more than any single dogfight, is what truly defines this moment in military history. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop your comments below.